Portions of this show are recorded. Strap in and be prepared.
I'm just going to say go to lunch and tell the boss, I'm coming down with something. And then head out to the ballpark for happy hour.
Coming down with duck fever.
Or beaver fever.
Or beaver fever, whichever one.
Interesting guests.
Kelly Graves,
Mike Parker, Coach Mark Waskowski, Melissa Lombardi.
Always happy to talk to the great Scopeldamus, Eric Scopel.
Sharp opinions.
This isn't last year. Version 8 is going to be different than version 7, which is different than version 6.
And some smiles.
Also, Dominic Hellman, 2 home runs this weekend.
Mayo.
Yeah, or Hellboy, either one.
The other one. We're going to see which one sticks. We're going to ask him.
Okay.
It's Danny Havel.
I had security on me, immediately. Give us your phone. You can't be filming it. What are you going to glean from filming people bowling right now?
Justin Grossweiler.
Okay, the 6 and 7-year-olds, I got them. I could beat them in a race.
Danny and Justin starts now on Fox Sports Eugene and Fox Sports Newport.
Hello, neighbors, and welcome high atop the Delta Triad in the Crystal Palace. From the Bigfoot Beverages Studios, Fox Sports Eugene, Fox Sports Newport. Yes, my voice is scratchy. I'm Doc. I'm Danny Havel. Thanks for tuning into the Danny and Justin radio program. You can follow us on Twitter and Blue Sky, Danny and Justin. Also on the podcast after the program's over, Danny and Justin, or the fastest 60 minutes, Spotify, Odyssey, iHeart, Amazon, Apple. I haven't done that one in a little while. I haven't listed all of them off, but thanks for tuning in on a Friday, a fantastic, freaky Friday. We've got big bets coming up in the last segment. We've got Becky Radliff from Eugene Marathon. We're going to talk to her about what's coming up this weekend. It starts today. And big draft news. As 2 Ducks go in the first round, I don't think they're going to get to the record of 10 drafted, but we'll talk about that as well. I, as I said, am Danny Havel. Right over there is my tag team partner, Justin Alexander Grosswinner. He's Baby J. What up, boy?
I love the draft, and we did not have a team that had a pick last night, but that didn't mean that there wasn't.
Meaning the Green Bay Packers.
The Green Bay Packers.
For those that are neophytes to the program.
Correct.
Okay.
Should have mentioned that. But
right.
it was still fun.
Buddy.
I always love it. It's a day of hope, and now it's 3 days of hope.
I love that. A day of hope. Love that. Okay.
So yesterday,
I can feel it.
A couple Ducks get drafted in the first round, and
yeah,
we had fun watching it.
Dude, we got to talk about this, though, because, okay, and by the way, so you'll notice that my voice is a little scratchy.
We're both in recovery today.
It was a blast, but man, I was out way too late last night. I just got to say, and I'm still recovering from it. You know, you as the younger person of the crew.
Which I'm happy about you saying, by the way.
Well,
it's factually true, but in other stages of my life, it may not be factually true.
You're half my age.
That's right, brother.
Okay. It takes me a little longer to recover, and I probably would have done more talking if I was on the YouTube channel. And by the way, shout out to you, to Goose, who will be in later in the last segment for Big Bets, and Blaze for locking down the YouTube channel. If you want to go to the YouTube channel, Danny and Justin, you can watch all the great interviews. You guys had an all-star, star-studded Hall of Fame interview segments, and with current players in the NFL, with retired players, Oregon greats. I gotta say, I was pretty envious.
It was really fun.
Okay. I'm just
really,
saying.
really fun. I have to say, Haloti Nada, extremely nice guy.
Yeah,
unbelievably nice.
And Sam was there as well. His son, who just committed to Oregon, I got to meet him and talk to them for a little bit last night because I was co-emceeing with Kenyon Barner, who did a fantastic job. Man, Easy Money is just so smooth with a crowd. And he was working the room, baby. I mean, he was working that room last night.
I feel like I've finally broken down a couple of the walls of Kenyon now that I've been able to talk to him outside of the show a few times. And he's like fiery. Like he's got this personality that
he's got opinions,
ready to go
man.
at you.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's where, he wants to be a broadcaster. So that's exactly what he should do. So, for everyone who was at the club room last night, thanks for supporting the O Club because we're raising money for scholarships for student athletes. We endow a couple of scholarships now, and Remington Hewitt on the women's softball side and Ryan Cooney on baseball are the recipients this year of the Oregon Club scholarship, and we rotate that through every year, and we're trying to add a third. I want to get to 4, I want to get to 5, I want to get to 10, because that just helps.
All right,
we can
LeBron.
spread it out. No, well, stop.
Not 1, not 2, not 3.
All right, so again, we got Becky Radliff, Radliff, I said that right, from the Eugene Marathon. She's the director of marketing. With all the things that are going on, with draft, with spring game coming up, we've got both men's and women's, Oregon baseball, Oregon softball in town this weekend, and the Eugene Marathon. I mean, can we spread these things out a little bit, is what I'm saying? And then also in the last segment, Goose and I were out on the golf course at Pine Ridge, and we'll talk about our golf games when Goose is in the studio. I don't want to steal any of his thunder. Okay?
All right.
So,
stay humble.
Yeah. No, I believe me. Humble is the right word to say about that. So, Oregon against Penn State on the baseball field at PK Park. Oregon against Ohio State in Big Ten play on the diamond at Jane Sanders. So, they start tonight, 6 p.m. I think baseball is I want to say it's a 5:05 first pitch, or at 3:05. Is it? Let's see. Hold on a second. I'm pulling it up right now. No, it is a 6:05. So 6 o'clock for the women, 6:05 for the men, which is great because sometimes we've had that Friday like it's a 3 o'clock first pitch. So I'm glad they pushed it back. And the weather's not going to be an issue, which is awesome because we've had that as well, and especially when you get into this end of things. And then also right here on Fox Sports Eugene, we are going to have Blazer basketball. So you want to start with the draft and then go to Blazers?
Let's start with the draft because I think we have to talk about kind of last night and obviously the players that got drafted. But can we take it to our interviews and some of the things
absolutely. Go where you want to go, man.
Because one of the moments of the night was when we had Kayvon Thibodeau over. He was in Kayvon's corner for a lot of the night.
Well, that's where you were.
That's where we were, which was cool. And of course, Giants are up at number 5.
Yeah.
And just by the luck of the gods.
Grace of God.
By the luck of the gods, Kayvon Thibodeau comes up to our stage to do our interview as that is happening. And so we start our interview. Everything's going really well.
This is a great behind-the-scenes story, folks. So hang on your radios right now. Go.
And so how this goes down is all of a sudden when we're doing our interview with him, he starts reaching for his pocket and mouthing some words that I can't say over the air to himself, and looks at his phone and basically says this.
Yeah, it's been great. My phone was just ringing during the draft, so I got a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie. Hey, I got a little nervous. But still a Giant, right? Still a Giant. Okay, thank God. I got a little nervous.
He looked so nervous when he got that phone call or whatever it was. He didn't know what it was, clearly,
I think
until
he
he
wants
pulled it
to
out.
stay in New York.
I think he does, too.
But
by
the
that
rumors,
reaction, absolutely he wants to stay in New York.
I mean, and that's the big rumor. And listen, it still might happen, unfortunately.
Well, apparently on the ticker, it said that it was reported that they didn't want to trade him.
Great. I mean, because again, I think he loves New York, and I think New York loves him.
I think he has a good personality for it, honestly.
Yeah.
I've always thought that, and it's funny because he's from L.A., so who would have thought? But, I mean, he's a guy that he likes the media. Like, he literally went to the SOJC because he wanted to learn how to broadcast and put out a personality for himself to the public. So, anyways, it was a fascinating moment. I hope I, detailed that well.
No, you did. Yeah, it was great.
He, again, was so, nervous when he got that call, and, his life flashed before his eyes. So, it was cool being there for that moment. I mean, obviously, I'm glad that, it wasn't, bad news for him or anything like that. But
the Danny and Justin radio program for Friday, breaking down the draft. 2 Ducks taken in the first round, just like last year, but wildly different. You had a tight end on the offensive side and defensive back. Last year, it was the line that dominated the storylines with Derek Harmon and Josh Connerly. So let's start with Kenyon Sadiq.
yeah.
So you guys have your theory. You and Goose and Blaze have the theory that the Jets are going to tank this year again, and they went after offense because they had 3 picks in the first round, right? They had 3 picks.
I think there's 2. Yeah, they just said 2.
Just 2? Okay, but they went offense.
Correct.
And with their first pick, they take Kenyon Sadiq, which nobody, and I went back and looked deep into the night, early this morning, nobody had this on their mock draft boards, that the Jets were going to take Kenyon Sadiq. I don't think Kenyon Sadiq thought he was going to New York, the other New York football program. We just talked about the Jets.
We're talking a lot about New York football programs right now.
But, there's the tie-in. And you guys think that they're tanking this year because they want Dante Moore next year?
And not just tanking and drafting offense, specifically drafting his tight end, Kenyon Sadiq, and the other guy, Amari Cooper Jr., who Dante watched in the Peach Bowl have a pretty good game and go on and win a national championship. So I guess the theory is that they're basically getting his familiar guys, and obviously I don't know if Omar Cooper Jr. is his guy, but obviously, like, you can sit there and go, hey, we got this first-round receiver last year. So the Jets, I could see it. Like, if they're pulling for straws, like, and they want to appease a guy, like, it's not a horrible strategy, especially if you're getting a guy like Kenyon Sadiq, who everybody thinks is going to be a really good player.
By the way, although all the things I was doing last night, it was 3 picks in the first round.
It was?
Yeah, because they had the number 2 pick, and they took David Bailey out of Texas Tech, the DN.
You're right. They did have 3 picks
and
in the
then
first
they
round.
picked Kenyon, and then they picked Omar Cooper
They always
Jr.
have 3 picks, it feels like.
Well, because they've been horrible for a long time.
And they've had to trade assets, yeah.
And Aaron Glenn, who is now is going to be in his 2nd year.
I think so.
As head coach, obviously coming over from Detroit as the D coordinator. He's a defensive guy.
3rd year?
Is it 3rd?
Because he had a year with Aaron.
No.
Right? And then last year with
you're
Pittsburgh.
right. You're right. No,
with Aaron.
No, he didn't. He never had Aaron. No, he never.
You're right.
He never. It's his 2nd year.
We're not doing great on the information today.
No, wait a second.
It's me.
You're normally the one that corrects me because I'm the one that's the nutcase on this thing. But no, it's just,
I don't know if you listened to yesterday's show. Probably not. But Steve taught me like multiple things about baseball in like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
And I did listen to a little bit of that, and what I was got my back up a little bit is like, I'm not that guy. And I'll never be that guy. And I never portray myself to be that guy. Steve, this is why I love having Goose as our 3rd guy in this whole thing, is that he brings a whole different approach
100%.
To what I do. I mean, he is the stat guy, the memory guy, and everything else. I'm the emotional guy.
Right.
I'm your typical, let's sit on the couch and have a beverage and talk about sports guy. So
I couldn't believe it. He knew multiple rules about baseball that I had no idea in like several minutes.
All right, so getting back to the Jets, 3 picks in the first round. They had an A+. I mean, you get Kenyon Sadiq, and obviously they were enamored with him because a lot of the boards had Kenyon going from anywhere between 12 and 18, I think, or 12 and 19. There were a lot of folks that they were like, Carolina's got him like focused, laser focused. So
we started getting some calls, and what I mean by that was we were trying to call our shot with Kenyon on the program, and I think that started around 14 with the Ravens. That's where Mims said, this is where it's happening. I said that actually 15. I thought he was going to Tampa Bay. And then, then he went 16.
I came up and told you guys that
he told us he was going to go to the Jets
before the pick happened.
So it was pretty cool, insider information.
So, we did have the inside information. Danny and Justin radio program live from the Bigfoot Beverages studios. We're going to have Becky Radliff from the Eugene Marathon coming up in just a few moments. A lot of opportunities for folks to get engaged with health and wellness and the Eugene Marathon this weekend, along with the spring game. And a little bit later in the program, of course, you know what, you love it. It's Big Bets presented by Coquel Casino and Resort here on the Danny and Justin radio program. So I was very interested to see the reaction because we had a video that was taken by one of the folks at Kenyon Sadiq's home in Idaho, his family's home, that we put up on the board, and it was a very muted response by what we showed. Now, apparently there was another one that was taken that showed a little bit more excitement, but when the Jets pick happened, and they knew it was happening. So I don't know if people understand this, and maybe you want to walk them through it, or I can walk them through it, is that the teams will call the player. Like, we knew the team had already called the player. Hey, we're on the clock. We're going to pick you. Get ready. Welcome to the organization. So they know a couple of minutes before it's announced out to the public. So that's why everyone was staged there, arm in arm and everything else. But there was no, jumping up around and joy and everything else. Guys, remember when Bo was taken by Denver last year? Or 2 years ago?
I actually don't.
Okay, 2 years ago when Bo was taken by Denver, there was this just outpouring and joy and jumping up.
Well, they
and
didn't know where he was
going to
go.
So it was not that way. So I hope this is not a signal for Kenyon Sadiq, who is, I think, going to make a huge impression almost immediately in the NFL. And
very solid human being, I think.
All right. So congratulations to Kenyon. And then it breaks our hearts.
To our misery.
And I got booed.
I didn't see that, but that's hilarious.
Because because there was all this joy. Dylan Thieneman goes to the Bears. He dropped a little bit. He was supposed to be a little bit higher, but only a couple of spots. I think 6 or 7
You know
spots.
what I think dropped him, though? I think it was because Caleb Downs dropped at the top end of the draft.
So people were going more offense than defense. And I asked you guys when I got, because, again, I wasn't keeping track in my brain.
I don't necessarily know that because there were a lot of defensive players taken, especially in the top 10. But I think what happened was the safety class, not that it was underwhelming. I think it was very good. But I think because the Giants passed on him a couple of times, which I think would have risen up Dylan ultimately on the other end, basically, because the run hadn't started. So I think that was part of what happened with him. I think most of it is just fit. I think everybody thinks he's a great player. It just came down to who actually wanted to take him and who thought that it was the biggest need. And it ended up falling to the Bears. And honestly, Bears fans were thrilled.
They should be. They're getting a great person.
I messaged Silk afterwards, and I said, as a Packers fan, I'm really sad about this. And he said, as a Bears fan, I'm really happy about this.
And by the way, I'm just kind of looking at this right now. It was more heavy offense in the first round. And a lot of offensive tackles taken in the first round, which tells me that Emmanuel Pregnon will probably go pretty quick in the second round today.
Good amount of defensive linemen.
Ruben Bain on edge. But, I'm just looking as I'm going through this. Mekhi Lemon goes. Another edge from Miami goes. So a couple of edges from Miami. Malachi Lawrence, defensive end from UCF, goes to Dallas. But, if you take a look at it right now, as I'm looking at it, there was more heavy offense in the first round.
That's fair. Maybe we'll actually count up the numbers and not just by the eye.
Okay, all right. So I will challenge you because we're gonna. You count them up.
I will.
All right, offense first, and I will put a milkshake on the table saying that
you're
there's
probably
more
right.
offense.
It is probably more offense.
So Dylan Thieneman goes to the Bears, and I think for Oregon in the overall, and last year it was record-breaking 10 players drafted in the NFL selection shows, and this year I don't think they're going to get to 10, maybe 8, 9. But then it's also about what their impact's going to be, because that's what Dan Lanning is selling to recruits and kids in the transfer portal. Like a Dylan Thieneman comes to Oregon because he knows he's going to get more exposure and he's going to get taught different things that are going to make him marketable to the NFL. And that's what happened. The marketing piece for Oregon football is important. And everybody, you can't dismiss this. Every player who's playing college football right now, their goal is to play on Sundays. So if you have a pipeline to that, and Dan Lanning has built it, and listen, well, not just Dan Lanning. Mara Cristobal did it before that. Chip Kelly did it before that. You notice I'm skipping a couple of coaches there. Is now what the focus is. So you got 2 players in the first round. And Oregon is starting to be that destination for players and senior transfers and such because they want to get to the show.
Yeah, and we talk to El Toro all the time here on the program, and whenever I talk to him, he always talks about how players are getting recruited by teams to go to the NFL. Like, ultimately, that is what they care about, is the transition to the NFL to have a long career. And you can have a lot of success with NIL and all that in college nowadays. You know who did really well last night was Ohio State, who had 4 picks in the first 11. So certainly, other schools are making good impressions as well. But Oregon, as much as any school at this point in the draft, is a recognizable name.
And you know what's funny about that? I was talking to the minister, George Reister, who was on with you guys last night as well.
Who was great.
And he said, you know what's funny is that the boards for the Buckeye fans are blowing up. It's like, you had 4 players in the first round, Ryan Day. How come you didn't win a national championship?
Almost 4 top 10 picks.
That's crazy.
Yeah. They had 4 in the top 11.
Yeah, and you don't win a national championship.
Yeah.
How does that happen? So, I mean, come on now. But he won one, 2 years ago. So you got that going for you. All right. So, I mean, we're running out of time here. So, Oregon and Penn State on the diamond, 6:05 for Mark Waskowski's squad, trying to win yet another series in the Big Ten as they wind the seasons down. Oregon, Ohio State at the Jane softball. Can they keep that streak going? I think it's 12 in a row now for Melissa Lombardi's squad. But we'll be talking running, yes, on the Danny and Justin radio program. Becky Radliff next from the Eugene Marathon, and then big bets later on for a Friday. Fox Sports Eugene, Fox Sports Newport. Danny and Justin radio program for a Friday rolls on. Thanks for tuning in. Again, big game for the Blazers with the series all knotted up. Man,
how about that?
Man, I'm still I actually think I'm still buzzing.
I know. It's been a couple days now.
And also, big bets coming up in our last segment. Don't forget about that right after we head on over to the Oregon Man Clinic's hotline at 541-343-5673 and welcome in first-time guests to our program. And the timing could not be better. The Director of Marketing at Eugene Marathon, it's Becky Radliff joining us. Becky, how are you today?
I'm doing well. Not getting a lot of sleep these days, but I'm doing okay.
It's understandable.
So the 2026 Eugene Marathon finishes at Hayward. And this event for you especially, I'm sure it's a love project, but it's something that really envelops and involves the community. So can you speak to that?
Yeah, I mean, I think the marathon is a really special event in that it incorporates not only runners in our community, but runners from across the world. We've got all 50 states represented, 26 different countries on the start line Sunday morning, and we're expecting about 10,000 runners.
So as I was doing some research, I came across the very cool story about this new medal that participants are going to be getting across, I guess, all finishers, marathon, half marathon, 5K, the kids duck dash, all of it. So speak about this medal that everyone's going to get.
Yeah, well, this year's medal is for us, it's really special in that it symbolizes the journey of each runner, kind of like through their training, through the race itself, and then culminating at what we think is the best finish line in the world, which is right at Hayward Field.
And just for those that don't know the history, how long has the marathon been going on?
So this will be our 19th year. So
Wow.
Next year we're celebrating 20 years. The first year was 2007. We did have to cancel in 2020, just like most spring marathons, because of the pandemic. And so next year, 2027, will be the 20th running.
And what
was marathon.
And what was the genesis? Or was it just a couple of people getting together and say, "Hey, let's have a 5K. Let's have a race."
It actually started with the marathon. The marathon has always been the signature event. So like the things like the 5K and the kids run were actually added later. It always started with a marathon and a half marathon, and that was because there were a couple marathoners around that Richard Maher and his nephew and niece, and they said, why isn't there a marathon in Eugene? Because the previous marathon had ended, I think, in the 80s, the Nike OTC marathon, that it took place for like 10 or 15 years in the 80s, but it had stopped at one point. And so there hadn't been a marathon in Eugene for over 20 years. And they saw that void and they took it.
What kind of changes have there been since then?
Well, I mean, some of the biggest changes are, we have gone through many different types of courses, different start locations, different finish locations. In 2019, when Hayward Field was under construction, we started and finished at Autzen, and all the runners got to finish on the 50-yard line there, which was pretty exciting in and of itself, and was a great backup, let's say. But then we returned to Hayward in 2022, and have been there ever since. And since then, both I think because it's a great place to have a race, and also because of a global running boom that the sport is experiencing, our growth has more than doubled since 2022. So if you look at like our number of marathoners that we had in 2023, so 3 years ago, we had like about 2,500, 3,000 marathoners. This year in the marathon alone, we've got, over 5,000. So double the number, which is pretty amazing, that you've got more and more people and more younger runners too that are wanting to tackle that, epic 26.2 distance.
Becky Radliff, the Director of Marketing, Eugene Marathon, joining us on the Danny and Justin radio program. It kicks off today at the Graduate in Eugene, the Health and Wellness Expo. That runs until 6 p.m. It'll also be from 10 to 6 tomorrow, along with there's some music and entertainment. We'll get to some of the entertainment because it's pretty cool. And then on Saturday, it starts at 7:15 with the Eugene 5K and the Kids Duck Dash, presented by OCCU. And then it rolls in all day morning. They're going to have races going on. In fact, I'll be out there because I volunteer with the Ronald McDonald House, and so my wife and I are going to be, I think, on 21st and Harris, I think, and 22nd. They split us up. They don't want us standing next to each other. But I want to talk about volunteers because this is like an army that you have to put together to be able to pull this thing off, and the city really steps up.
It does. And so many community groups, track teams, high school track teams, high school, clubs, alumni associations, businesses, charities, will put together these groups, and they, commit to like 15, 20, sometimes 40 volunteers. And they say, we'll cover, for example, you're one of our course marshals, which is so important. We have police, and we have our flaggers and the people that are like top level for course safety. But then we also have, our course marshals who, when someone wants to, drive on the course, they're the ones who say, actually, can you go this way? And, gives them a safe way to get around the course. So, yeah, we are going to have over 1,500 volunteers this year. As our runner participation numbers grow, our volunteers grow too. So, we have to think about thousands of runners who need to pick up their bibs, need to, check their bags before the race, need to, eat pancakes.
Yes.
And then also stay safe on the course. So we just have so much appreciation for our volunteer workforce and the groups that have really rallied for so many years, like Ronald McDonald House, to make this event so special and such a community. Like, there's so much community spirit behind it.
Well, I'm not worried about Deb, but we got to make sure that.
Wait a second.
We got to make sure that Danny's doing his job over there.
I'm not going to have like a megaphone out there or whatever and start yelling at people. I'm going to be very nice.
You'll have a vest. You're going to look so official. You're going to have your, high vis vest, and people are going to be like, "What do I do?" They're going to ask you all the questions.
That's nice. I'm so pumped.
Yeah, no, Danny, he's going to be great at that. I'm sure he'll do great. But talk to us about the on-course entertainment this year. DJ Bump, a local DJ, is going to be there. Yeah. The Beat Crunchers. Tell us what's going on.
Yeah, so at a bunch of different spots around the marathon course, especially kind of late in the marathon, you're on the bike path. I've never ran our marathon course.
I was
I've actually never ran a marathon before, but I'm so thankful that so many people like to run marathons because that's my job. But I love that we have these local bands, local DJs, these like awesome drum groups who come out and, you know, during maybe a quiet spot on the course where you're on the bike path and it's just you and this person or a couple people who you've been running with for the last few miles and you're all kind of tired, and then all of a sudden you've got, you know, some great music that kind of pushes you through, and it at least makes things a little more interesting. So yeah, we love our local bands.
Well, as we look forward to this big weekend, it starts again today all the way till 6 o'clock at the Health and Wellness Expo, which runs 10 to 6 tomorrow as well at the Graduate. What will people expect there? Because obviously, you know, you're promoting running and fitness. So talk about what they'll see down there at the Graduate.
Yeah, so at the Graduate, we have a ton of wonderful vendors, sponsors, activations. We have a sweet merch line of Eugene Marathon merch. It's all Nike merch, and it's very, very cool this year, I think. And then, so people can come in. I mean, honestly, anyone could come in, whether you're picking up your bib or not. And there's also some, there's like an expo stage with some people being interviewed. In fact, our very own Ashton Eaton is going to be interviewed because he's running the half marathon on Sunday.
Cool. So, all right.
Yeah, as far as I know, it'll be the first time someone who's on the tower at Hayward Field has run the marathon. So
that's very cool as well. Director of Marketing from the Eugene Marathon. It's Becky Radliff joining us here on the Danny and Justin radio program as we talk about the Eugene Marathon going on this weekend. I want to mention, because I love food as well, Krusty's Pancake Breakfast starts at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Where is that? Is that going to be down at Hayward as well, or in that vicinity?
Yep. Yeah, it's right on the concourse. And something to mention, too, is these events are free to the public. So you can come in, you can experience Hayward Field without a ticket. So come on in, you know, you can make a donation to, on Saturday, a donation to CASA for your pancakes, or on Sunday it's to Special Olympics of Oregon. And runners don't have to make a donation. Runners just get it for free for running. So free pancakes, and then Hop Valley is our beer sponsor. So any 21 plus runners on Sunday will get a fresh, cold Hop Valley beer if they so choose. And then we've got a bunch of other wonderful vendors, there as well.
Well,
so,
and I do want to talk about how we talked about the volunteers. Let's talk about how the business community steps up as well, because this is not a small event, and it obviously takes time and money to pull it off. And again, the local business community really steps up to help out the marathon.
It totally does. Yeah. And it not only helps us, it really enhances the runner experience. So, you know, you get runners from Canada, Mexico, from across the U.S. who come and they've never been to Oregon before. And we have over 30 local businesses who said, hey, if you show your bib, you get, you know, a discount, or you get, you know, like free fries with your order, or, you know, some kind of special deal. And so that's through our Show Your Bib program. And actually, Danny, volunteers get it too. So you just show your volunteer shirt and you'll get, you know, all kinds of free deals. Just go to the Show Your Bib page on our website for all the list of all the businesses participating.
Well, that is a bonus. I'm going to have to let Deb know, and we're going to be taking advantage of it. I don't think I'm ever going to take it off. You never know.
I think there's like a free scoop of salt and straw ice cream on there.
Ooh, you're speaking my love language there, Becky.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, as we wrap things up, I know weather can also be an issue sometimes in Eugene. So what do you guys do there at the marathon to make sure it doesn't rain? I'm happy. That's half joking, because it should be beautiful on Saturday and Sunday.
I mean, we've been praying, for the last year that it doesn't rain on Marathon Sunday, but there's not much we can do. We do what we can. To be honest, marathoners don't mind a little rain because it keeps them cool. We hope it doesn't rain too much. Right now it looks like it's not supposed to start raining until 3 p.m. on Sunday, but I don't like to look too much at the weather.
Now come on, tell me, you do look at it quite a bit as you get closer.
Well, yeah, of course. It's the first thing I look at on my phone when I wake up in the morning.
All right, let's conclude with the kiddos because obviously this is a great thing to start. You start them young, and then they stay on that path. The Duck Dash. So what are the age limitations? And I'm sure signups are. I don't know if they're probably done by now, unless
they are. Actually,
okay.
We sold out yesterday.
Okay. So
we've got about 1,600 kids signed up for the Duck Dash. It's ages 2 to 12, and we have you got to run with a parent if you're 6 and under, and then we have the faster kids, the older kids who they win a 10-pound bag of Krusty's pancake mix if they win. So
nice.
It's a fun little prize for them, and it's just an exciting way to incorporate the kids, and then. We also do for our 5K, we have our pancake mascots, Flapjack and Flapjill. You've probably seen them if you've been to the 5K. They run a pretty fast 5K. I think the Flapjack broke 18 minutes in the 5K last year.
Wow.
But if you're faster than the pancake, you win. Krusty's will give you coupons for that's like free pancakes for a year, essentially.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So start training now if you want free pancakes.
There you go. Well, Becky, I know you'll be buzzing around and keeping everybody coordinated and entertained. What a great job the marathon does. So thank you for everything that you and the staff do to pull this thing off, because it's a pleasure to be able to see it here in Eugene.
Well, thank you. We take a lot of pride in it, and we are so thankful to do a race in this special community. There's really no better place on earth in our minds to have a road race.
Becky Radliff from the Eugene Marathon, Director of Marketing. Becky, we'll see you out there this weekend.
Thanks, guys.
Here she goes. And there we go. So I didn't know about the whole freebie thing with the shirts, too.
I didn't either. That's why we have them on.
Score! All right, we come back, talk about scoring. We're going to have big bets with Goose in the studio as well. We're going to pick our games. Goose coming off a hot 5-0 week, although he blew it on the tiebreaker. So we'll see if the tiebreaker comes into factor again on Big Bets next on the Danny and Justin radio program for a Friday.
The Danny and Justin radio program live on a Friday. A couple of things to talk about before we hear about
He's cleaning house right
Danny almost getting killed by Goose.
No, we'll talk about it in a second.
We'll talk about it in a second. But first, Oregon and Oregon State, their game up in Hillsboro was officially canceled. So, Danny, you were right, turns out.
The one time in the last 365 days I've been right.
Well,
I'll agree.
Stop shaking you were right
head,
earlier
Goose.
in the show. Other than that, on KOE tonight.
Which, by the way, I'm upset about. Yeah. I think I really would have liked them to play this game one more time.
I am as well, and I think they both
match.
wanted to play. They would have had. I think Oregon State might have had to cancel one of those Portland games.
We talked about
so
this.
that became
and also trying to do it up in Portland, or Hillsboro.
Exactly.
Okay,
so
I interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, and then on KOE tonight at 7:30, Game 3 of Blazers and Spurs. Going to be interesting to see.
What do you guys think?
If Wemby
we can't
is
talk
playing,
about it yet. It's coming up in Big Bets.
That's true.
What do you want us to give our picks now?
No, I'm just saying. Do you think I don't think Wemby plays.
I don't think Wemby plays either. But the other thing I'm interested to see tonight is whether Tom Dundon makes an appearance.
Tom who?
You're right, Tom.
Oh. Dundon. Scrooge McDundon.
But I'm interested to see if he gets booed, quite honestly, because I think that...
Is he going to be there?
He has to be. How can he not be there? He's the new owner of the team, and they're in the playoffs.
Have you ever seen that
apartment, yeah.
Maybe he just hangs out in the apartment all night and watches the game so that nobody sees him.
The theory is, and I guess the light had been on in the apartment after
for the first time.
The first time.
It's not candlelight. It's regular lights or candlelight.
It's darkness. He turns the lights out to watch it.
All right, go ahead. Finish up. Is that it?
That's 7:30. You can hear the voice of the Blazers, Travis Demers, calling the game.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
Right on Fox Sports Eugene. So, Goose tried to kill me today on the golf course.
There was a warning shot. There was a warning yelled before, but that's fine.
He tried to kill me.
How did this happen?
No.
I was not playing well, so I knew the ball could go anywhere. Danny, for some reason or another, even though his drive went 50 yards ahead of me, decided to go to the ball. I said, heads up, I'm hitting. You've seen how poorly I hit it today. And I hit it, and it made a beeline for Danny. Danny apparently had his music on too loud in the golf cart, so he didn't hear it until I yelled 4, and at that point the ball was nearing his head. He did duck, got out of the way, the ball went past, but there was an advance warning was given. It just apparently was not heard.
Okay. I will dispute that in a court of law, but the ball whistled by me. Let's do big bets, all right? You want to do this? Yeah,
These guys think they know sports.
You think you're better than me?
The winners, the losers. Let's put their knowledge to the test.
Prove it.
It's time for Big Bets, presented by Coquel Casino Resort.
All right, so you get on the phone right now at 541-343-5673. That is the Oregon Man Clinic's hotline. I'm amazed I can still do that by memory, but there you go. Line up now. We're going to race through these. It's all NBA. 2 games tonight, 3 games tomorrow, and we'll jump in after a 5-0 week, but you lost to Chris. Your
That's
buddy.
Okay. Hey, I think if a caller gets 5-0, it shouldn't come down to a tiebreaker. They should win.
But it
Chris
did?
should not lose. But yes,
Are you going to go with the over a little bit closer? Because you were
hey, can we talk more about the 5-0 than the losing the tiebreaker part? It feels like we're talking about the tiebreaker. I want to talk about the 5-0, and I'll run it through if you want to recap.
No, I'm not going to do that.
I'll go game by game if you want. But
Boston,
congrats to Chris. Hey, congrats to my boy.
Boston, Philly. We'll start with you, Goose.
Boston, Philly. I think this is Boston by like 30. I think they're ticked that they gave one up at home that they shouldn't have. They're way better than Philly. They win by like 30 tonight.
Baby J.
Yeah, I think I'm going to also go Boston. I'm surprised they haven't looked very good this series, but I think they win this one.
You know, I'm going Philly then. I'm going to try and make up some ground. Here we go. San Antonio, Portland tonight. Baby J, start with you. Come on.
Give me the Blazers, baby.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Is it more dependent on if Wemby plays or not? Because I don't think he's going to.
No, I think they win tonight.
I'm going Blazers as well.
Are you really? I'm gonna go Spurs. I'd like to see the Blazers. I'm gonna say Wemby comes out and it's his Willis Reed performance, and he comes out and only plays like 20 minutes or something. Yeah, comes in off the bench, comes in and plays like 20, gives them an emotional spark, and they win.
So, by the way, it's not where his heart is; it's what his reality is.
Well, that's how you go. That's how you go 5-0, boys. If you want a lesson on how to do this, it's where you're headed.
Wow, we're in school right now. The Danny and Justin Radio program with Goose. For big bets, get on the phone line on the Oregon Man Clinic's hotline at 541-343-5673. Once we're done, we'll head to the phones. Detroit and Orlando, these are all, the rest of the games are tomorrow. Detroit and Orlando, this has been a pretty good series thus far.
Really
Go ahead.
Series.
Go ahead, Goose.
It's been a really good series. Orlando looked good. I feel like Detroit, again, coming up, they got that second one. They got to get the home court back. I think the top seed Detroit gets this one.
Okay. I am going to go Orlando.
I'm going to go Detroit.
Okay. You both suck. New York, Atlanta. Baby J, you start.
I'm going to go Atlanta.
Oh, you really?
I am. What if they go up 3-1? Pressure's on New York right now.
You know,
absolutely.
And Atlanta's the home team, but I think this is where they steal a game. I think New York comes back and steals a game here.
I'm with Danny on this one. I think New York wins this series. I don't think the C.J. McCollum thing. I can't think he can lead them to an entire series win. He's kind of led them.
But he's played great. He's been great, by the way.
But I think New York gets this one and gets the series back to New York even.
And this is probably one of the best series. And is this a budding rivalry, like a deep heated hatred rivalry between Denver and Minnesota?
Yeah, it's getting there.
Absolutely. So I will dive into it first. Minnesota's at home, and I think Timberwolves get this one at home.
Yeah. I hate to say it because last week I was right on it that David Adelman went to Jesuit High School. I went to Jesuit High School.
Yeah, I know.
So,
I got you there.
It worked last week. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say Denver, same thing. They get this thing back home tied up.
By the way, we've got to do total points. I'll do points first. So I'm going to go 231.
I'll go 210.
Dude, you're like 20 points below. Okay.
Pretty high.
That didn't work for you last week, by the way. All right, Baby J, give us your pick.
My pick is I'm going to go with the Nuggets. I think this is a Jokic legacy game. He knows that this is a big one.
Legacy.
I think this is a legacy game for Jokic. He comes out, he plays great. So I take the
What's
Nuggets.
your total points?
Total points, I will go with... I'll go with 2. You went with 210?
Mm-hmm. And I went 231.
I'll go 220.
No.
Right in the middle there.
220. All right. The Oregon Man Clinic's hotline is open for you at 5413-435673. Let's get our first caller.
We've got Steve from Eugene.
Steve! The other Steve.
Hi, how are you?
What's up, fella? How you doing?
Oh, God, finally remembered the time to call in.
That's great. Well, I'm glad just to be here because I almost got killed on the golf course by Mims. So we're good. So, all right,
I have got struck by a golf ball before, so it's not good.
Head, arm, leg, where?
Shoulder blade in the back.
All right, well, I'm glad you recovered. Boston, Philly.
Boston.
San Antonio, Portland.
Oh, Portland.
Okay, well, don't say it like that. I mean, I don't know if they're favored. Detroit, Orlando.
Detroit.
I'm the only one on Orlando. New York, Atlanta.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I'm going to stick with McCullum and go with Atlanta.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Baby J loves that. Denver, Minnesota, and give me total points.
Denver and room 222.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Right,
he's
kinda...
almost Bob Barkering you.
Yeah,
Thanks, Steve.
Yeah, very close.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks for
I
listening,
know,
buddy.
yeah. Hey, I gave him a little
1 point.
An extra point. Yes, you did. You gave him 1 bucket. Not a large margin. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, there he goes. The great Steve, the other Steve.
Did you win the golf tournament, by the way? You and the general were on fire. Did you guys end up winning it? I had to leave before the trophy presentation.
No, listen, no.
Did you get a trophy?
No, I don't know. I'll text the general here later, or he'll text me. I think the best thing is that we might have gotten a skin.
No. You
So
guys
on
were on fire.
that
You guys shoot under
par
par?
5.
Were you guys
no,
under-
I think we were about even.
No.
We were about even.
We were not.
Which with the handicap, and that's me. I'm the one carrying the team on the handicap. I think we did okay.
Yeah, I'm sure you did.
Yeah. So we did not be horrible. All right. Who do we got?
We got Brad.
Brad is back. Brad.
I am back.
Where have you been, by the way, real quick?
I was in Vietnam and Cambodia, actually.
Wow.
Wow, good for you.
It
Welcome.
was amazing. It was amazing, I just got to say.
How easy is it to get Blazer games on TV over there?
I was actually streaming while riding a bus, watching it, and yes, I was amazed. It was funny. I was in a TSA line, or security line, and I made a fist pump when the Blazers went ahead in Game 2. And this German guy's like, "We won!" Like, my team, the Portland Trail Blazers.
That's fantastic. And you and I need to talk, Brad. Check our email. All right.
Yes.
So, all right, Boston, Philly, go.
Pains me to say it, but Boston.
I'm the only one on Philly. San Antonio, Portland.
Definitely. What do you think? Come
Okay,
on now.
I'm already ready.
Head, not heart, Brad. Head, not heart.
I've got to ask, okay?
Head and heart. The Portland Trail Blazers.
That a boy. Detroit and Orlando.
Orlando, give me the Magic.
All right, I like that. See, you and I are on that island. I love that. New York, Atlanta.
Going for the Knicks.
Okay, love that as well. Denver and Minnesota and total points, bud.
Minnesota and 235.
Dude, all right. All right.
And, for this
What?
Portland series, I'm calling my Willis Reed moment. Don't be surprised if we see Damian walking out of that tunnel with the uniform.
predictions.
I love the way you think, but it's not happening. Brad, welcome back, buddy. Glad you got back
Thank you.
stateside. All right, there he goes.
Yep.
The great Brad. All right, and we're done. That's it. We got a couple in.
I said it was going to be Wembayama's Willis Reed moment, and Brad has the Lillard Willis Reed moment.
right.
So it sounds like we're going to have a Willis Reed moment.
I got fired from the bank today. A woman asked me to check her balance, so I pushed her.
Dad jokes.
What do you call a moose with no name? A moose with no name.
This is a horse with no name.
Buck chop
reference.
or something?
I don't know.
Anonymous.
Come
on now.
That's not bad. It was pretty
bad.
good. It was pretty good.
All
Thank
right.
you for carrying that reaction, Mims.
Jeez, you guys. All right, well, I'm glad to be alive. I'm going to be careful next time I go on a golf course with Goose.
Better.
Nice show today.
Thank you. We got it together.
Go back on the podcast. God bless. Put a smiley face on someone else's. They deserve it. So do you. Peace.